And I just thought sleeping bags are sleeping bags. And apparently they're all rated to a certain temperature. And I found out that the sleeping bag has to be rated for minus 15 degrees Celsius for Kilimanjaro. Turns out that I looked at my sleeping bag, it was rated to plus 10. Hey guys, quick update for you. It's the 15th of December 2017. I'm in my apartment here and man, I'm so fucking pumped, it's not funny. I'm literally flying off to Kilimanjaro tomorrow and I'm just so, I can't wipe the fucking smile off my face now. But at the same time, I'm a little bit like nervous because I'm thinking it's 20,000 feet or it's 19,000 and something feet. It's very high, altitude sickness is real, and so I'm a little bit nervous at the fact that I could get altitude sickness and have to come back down, you know, so that's crossing my mind. Oh fuck. So it's actually really starting to hit me now that it's actually a pretty big deal, and I think I've been underestimating this mountain the whole time. And I think, you know, I've mentioned this in other videos that I have bought the wrong equipment, some of the wrong gear. I had to take it back to Kathmandu and Macpac and say, guys, do you mind exchanging this jacket or it's my microwave, that, you know, this jacket or this thermal. I've got the wrong this, the wrong that, the wrong this. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not an experienced trekker, and especially when it comes to mountaineering or climbing mountains, I'm just learning all of this stuff for the first time. I'll tell you a real funny story real quick. I had a sleeping bag, right? This is how naive I am. I had a sleeping bag and I just thought sleeping bags are sleeping bags. And apparently they're all rated to a certain temperature. And I found out that the sleeping bag has to be rated for minus 15 degrees Celsius for Kilimanjaro. Turns out that I looked at my sleeping bag, it was rated to plus 10 degrees Celsius. I would have frozen at night. I would not have been able to sleep at night had I taken my sleeping bag. And so I decided, I'm like, fuck, that's really good. That's a good thing that I read about that and I checked it. Anyway, so I'm hiring a sleeping bag and a tent when I get there. So if you're looking at doing Kilimanjaro yourself, you could probably hire the sleeping bag and the tent and the hiking poles, the trekking poles. You could probably hire that stuff, and that way it takes the thinking process out of it, but also it's just extra stuff you don't have to carry. So I'd rather pay the extra $50 US for a sleeping bag to hire, because it's there when I arrive and I have to worry about carrying it, but also it's already correctly rated to minus 30 degrees Celsius. I think they're rated. Anyway, it's crazy. So in my living room right now, that's all my gear everywhere, and I'm literally just going through everything and just doing a final check on the checklist to make sure that I haven't forgotten anything. But also as well, one thing I'll point out real quick, and it's actually a really good point if you're looking at doing Kili or any kind of hike for that matter, is to wear the clothes on the flight that you plan on wearing, wear the clothes on the flight that are the most essential for your trip, i.e. your hiking boots. So if you have a look down there, this little area here is what I'll be carrying, basically what I'll be wearing onto the flight. So the boots I'll be wearing on the flight, the fleece jumper I'll be wearing, the hiking pants I'll be wearing, the moisture wicking underwear, right? So I don't get chafing, I'll be wearing. And of course, the cool hat. I'll be wearing this guy as well, all the way to Kilimanjaro. And anyway, so I did a proper video on what I'm packing, so go and check that video out. I talk about what I'm taking on the trek, and that is it. But yeah, it's been such an incredible experience, in preparation for this, the stuff by the way, it's really expensive. It's cost me a lot of money to do this, and I'll do a separate video on how much it's cost me so far this trip. It's like $9,000, and I wanted to do this on a budget. But I've made some mistakes, and I'll talk about that in the other video. And I fly out tomorrow, and I've got my Diamox, and I've got my Malarone, which is for mosquitoes, and I've had my vaccinations for cholera, typhoid, and yellow fever and all that. Anyway, that's it. I was gonna say something, I've got something on my mind, I can't remember what it is. Going scuba diving. Oh, so the last thing is what a lot of people do is when they finish Kilimanjaro is they'll apparently go to Zanzibar, right? So Zanzibar is part of Tanzania, same country. But Zanzibar is the island that's off the coast. And it costs me like 250 Australian dollars each way. But apparently people, when they finish the trek up Kilimanjaro, they'll head straight to Zanzibar to relax. And so that's exactly what I'm doing. I'll be on the summit of Kilimanjaro on Christmas Day on the summit. And then after that, I will be, I'll be back in Moshi, which is, you know, the bottom of Kilimanjaro on the 27th. And then I'll fly to Zanzibar and spend New Year's in Zanzibar. And I have no idea what they do in Zanzibar on New Year's. I have no idea. I've Googled it, I've YouTubed it. Nobody seems to know what happens in Zanzibar on New Year's, which is the best part because I don't like planning too much in advance anyway, and I like surprises, so I can handle that. So I'm gonna create some videos for New Year's, and I'll be the first person in the world to share what goes on in Zanzibar on New Year's. And it should be really fun. So I'll be there for about a week or so, week and a half, scuba diving, and got my logbook, diver's logbook, and I've got my mask somewhere. Anyway, somewhere around here. That is it. I am going to start doing proper day-to-day videos moving forward, so you get to see my day-to-day 8-day Lemosho trek to the roof of Africa.